Good morning and welcome to your second session of guided reading on your white book band. It is the 26th of January. So now it's your opportunity to familiarise yourself with the text again. You should pause the video now to read this independently and then listen to me read it for you. Chapter 4, A Terrible Tizzy. Baby Fan began to blub. Small Fan started to cough. Mother Fan spluttered. Grandpa Fan clutched at his throat. "Oh no," said Father Fan, "let's get out of here." So again, it's your opportunity to read this independently. You should pause it now and then I'll read it for you. But Grandpa Fan was in a terrible tizzy. The smell had made him so dizzy that he tossed and tumbled. He knocked Father Fan one way into the candy floss spinner and Mother Fan the other way into the popcorn machine. Luckily, when Father Fan was handed out on a stick, he managed to escape. But poor Mother Fan had to pop herself out of the popcorn box. Again, you should read this independently now, so you should pause it and then listen to me read it. Then Father Fan grabbed Grandpa, Mother Fan clutched Small Fan held on tight to Baby Fan, and they all zoomed off home. So now that we've read chapter 4 again, you are going to be completing a retrieval task. So your learning objective to begin with is to retrieve and record information, identify key details from fiction and non-fiction texts. So that is our reading domain 2B, and we'll be using monitor and monitor skills here. So we've read the chapter and we're going to complete these quick fire round questions. So it's up to you if you want to put on a 2-minute timer and answer the questions from 1 to 5. Then you should pause the video and then you can listen to me and read the answers out on the next slide. Well done for completing that task. So now we'll go through the answers. Number 1, how did Mother Fan react to the garlic? She spluttered. Number 2, what did Mother Fan have to pop herself out of? The popcorn box. Number 3, what made Grandpa so dizzy? It was the dreaded garlic. So it's the garlic that made him so dizzy and so unwell. Number 4, true or false? Mother Fan was knocked into the candy floss spinner, and that is false because she was knocked into the popcorn machine. And number 5, where did they all zoom off to? They zoomed off home. Well done for completing that task to begin with. Now let's move on to our main task for today. So you may want to take this opportunity to read chapter 4 again, and if so, you should pause it and go back. But this task alone, we are using Susie the summariser, and our objective is to summarise ideas from more than one paragraph. So 2C. So we're looking at the really important parts, and we're going to be using our sequencing skills now. And we're going to number the events in the order that they have happened from 1 to 5, and you should use end of chapter 3 and chapter 4 to help you with this task. You should pause it now to complete it independently, and then you can move on to listen to me read the answers out for you. So our first event that happened was that Father Fan was horrified by the sight of the word garlic. And number 2, Baby Fan started to cry. Then number 3, Grandpa Fan clutched at his throat. And number 4, Grandpa knocked Mother Fan into the popcorn machine. And finally, number 5, Small Fan held Baby Fan as they flew home. So our next job is to make inferences. So we're using Priscilla, using clues in the text to help us identify the answers and infer how certain characters are feeling. So our objective is to make inferences from the text and justify with evidence. So this is the domain 2B. So we've got the question, which words give you the impression that Grandpa Fan was unwell? So I'm hoping that you paused the video so that you could complete that question independently, and then we can go through this answer now. So which words give you the impression that Grandpa Fan was unwell? The words that give me the impression that Grandpa Fan was unwell are the smell had made him so dizzy that he tossed and tumbled. So we're inferring that the garlic was that strong that it really overwhelmed him and that he felt off balance and out of control, and that's why he tossed and he tumbled. Our next question, we are looking at using mind and monitor skills again. So we're going to give and explain the meaning of words in context. And your question asks you to see which word is closest in meaning to zoomed. So in this sentence, and they all zoomed off home, the word zoomed is close to meaning to. You've got strolled, flew, flapped, or hurried. And then your next question after that, we are moving on to a different objective, and we are using Priscilla the predictor. So we're going to predict what might happen from details stated and implied, and that domain is 2E. So what do you predict will happen next based on the text and the evidence that you know so far? You should pause the video now and then complete your task independently, and then come back to the video to look at the answers. So now looking at the answers, we're looking for the word that is closest in meaning to zoomed. So out of those 4 words, the word is hurried. So they did it really quickly. And then for Priscilla the predictor question, remember my answer may be different to yours because it's what I predict. But and yours may be different, but as long as you have considered the text and the details in the text to support your answer. So I predict that the Fan family have fled home quickly in order to take some medicine to banish the smell of garlic from their noses, because we know that they didn't respond to it very well. We know that baby Fan started to blub and Grandpa Fan clutched at his throat because they really did not enjoy the smell of that garlic. And we don't know if it was, lethal. We didn't know if it was going to really hurt them or injure them at all. And so now you've looked at the answers, I'd like you to go back to your paper pack or to your teams and look at your work. And if unfortunately you got some of these questions wrong, it doesn't matter because you've watched this video and now you can edit, improve your work and then submit it by pressing the hand in button. And then if you are using a paper pack, you make sure you bring it in back into school so we can look at it and mark it that way. Well done guys for completing today's reading task, and I will see you tomorrow. Well, not see you. You'll hear my voice. Bye.